Hello, I'm Elizabeth Foster, and welcome to the Source News. Raising the rate of Newstart has been a controversial topic for years, with the government refusing to give in to demands to raise the payment. That is, until now. Calls to raise Newstart to a livable wage have fallen on deaf ears for the past 24 years. Now, only after mass layoffs due to the coronavirus pandemic has the rate raised above the national poverty threshold. And even though it's temporary, many are wondering why this couldn't have happened sooner.
A massive insult, and it proves that the government had the capacity to do it all along. I mean, it had only cost $8.4 billion to make a year to make this permanent.
They're furious that it took a major health crisis to increase the payment, only temporarily.
JobSeeker payments have effectively doubled with a new base rate of $1,015 a fortnight, compared to $565 previously. And although it's only temporary, it's providing much needed relief to many who had struggled to live on only $34 a day.
Give me a bit more room to breathe with where my money is going, and lets me have a bit more of a decision.
In the back of their mind, everyone is realising that, this arbitrary cut-off date, is going to send them back to, the bad old days.
Advocates for raise the rate are wondering why those who were laid off during the coronavirus pandemic are more deserving of an average wage than those who have been struggling for years to find work. There are, however, hopes that the attention given to the social welfare system will help improve things for the future and maybe even permanently raise the rate. This has been Elizabeth Foster from the Source News. COVID-19 is changing up the playing field for small businesses, with social distancing regulations affecting the economy massively. Georgia Champers has more.
There are over 2 million small businesses in Australia, and each of those shape the retail and hospitality sector greatly. And although they are crucial to our economy, COVID-19 is risking the closure of many.
Retail businesses are among those most affected, with social distancing guidelines making it almost impossible for staff to serve customers, frustrating business owners.
There were not too many people around in the shopping centre, so our trade, our turnover dropped dramatically, because basically the government was saying the shops are open but don't go out, so people were getting a bit of a mixed message.
Government schemes such as JobKeeper aim to help keep these businesses operating, with around 6 million workers receiving the payment package.
We've found it difficult to navigate our way through and know exactly what's happening. So I guess it's more communication than anything, but there certainly is lots of assistance packages out there to help.
Those in other occupations who have temporarily lost their jobs have had to get creative and branch out, a few even starting their own businesses or focusing on their side hustles.
Online went quiet, so we decided to attempt coming into a pop-up shop sort of situation for Mother's Day, because to just spread a little bit of love and a little bit of colour.
Now, more than ever, is it crucial we support small businesses and keep the industry flourishing. And although it will be a long road to recovery, if any country can do it, it's Australia. This has been Georgia Champers for the Source News.
As we are on the road out of the current COVID-19 pandemic, a new report shows that isolation and social distancing has had a major impact on many young Australians. Liv Einamo reports.
A new report by the mental health organisation Headspace showed that almost 60% of young Australians are feeling stressed and anxious due to the current COVID-19 situation. Jacob Healing is one of many young Australians who are struggling to adjust to the new challenges. And for him, surfing has been very important the past few weeks.
I find that when I've been working inside in isolation for long periods of time that I get a bit stressed and overwhelmed, and surfing really does help break that up. It's really good to get outside and get around the nature a bit, and so I like to sort of turn my computer off and put a bit of jazz music on and get ready to go out for a surf and really relax before I get out there as well, because sometimes the conditions can be a bit rough and there's rips out there.
Headspace's main recommendation is to stay active to keep healthy both mentally and physically during the current pandemic.
I find staying active helps in the circumstances. Surfing's a good way to stay active and be out in the water and relax, but you still get a bit of exercise in there as well. It really helps when you come back and you can get back into work with a clear head.
24-year-old Adam Lang lost his job about a month ago, now like many others struggling financially, but he's trying to make the best of it.
For us, we live 100 metres away from the beach, and I like to skate down there, skate along the beach, as well as surf, and really helps you think about stuff a bit clearer when you're out there or just staying active.
My recommendation to others would be to find a hobby that you can enjoy and make sure that you stay active.
The coronavirus has taken a toll on a lot of people, but it is important to make sure you're taking care of your well-being and keeping a positive attitude during these unprecedented times. Taylor Gray reports.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Source News. I'm Taylor Gray. The coronavirus is undoubtedly one thing on many people's minds, but just what are people doing to stay in a positive mindset? Keeping a positive mindset can be hard at the best of times, but being secluded from family and friends in self-isolation is making it even harder. Maintaining a positive mindset during these times is extremely beneficial for our mental health and makes us feel happier and less stressed.
There are times when I feel sad as I cannot see the people that I love, so I do things to distract me, like swimming in the pool and playing with my dog Kobe. When I'm swimming, I feel free, and it helps me to forget about the other stresses that I have.
Hobbies are a great way to help keep a positive mindset, as they can help us forget about the stresses occurring in the world. But it is also important that we check on our friends and make sure they're doing okay.
I think it's important to check on those all around us and make sure that they're okay. If we stick together, we can all get through this.
Remember to check on your family and friends during these hard times to make sure everyone is doing okay. And if you do need help, there are plenty of services out there for us. This is Taylor Gray for the Source News.
Around the world, elderly people are being made to isolate due to being the most vulnerable to COVID-19. Alex McKenna reports.
All throughout the world, the elderly are being kept at home to protect them from COVID-19. In places such as Ireland, the elderly are not allowed to leave the house except to exercise, and this quarantine can end up having a negative impact on their mental health.
I am lucky that my husband is also in quarantine. There's somebody there that you can go out and have a chat with. And I feel very sorry for elderly people who are isolated and living completely on their own. It must be awfully, awfully sad.
Research shows that social loneliness can have a negative impact on the physical health of the elderly, so this quarantine can impact both mental and physical health. Because the elderly are now socially isolated, they are having to rely on the help of younger family members for their everyday needs. Some elderly people are lucky enough to have family members nearby, but not everyone is so lucky.
When it comes to supporting my grandparents, the only way I can really be of any help is to do my grandparents' weekly grocery shopping, and maybe offer some verbal comfort, gossip and humour through the window as I bring them their shopping. It's not much, but they appreciate it.
Although the quarantine is necessary to keep the elderly safe from COVID-19, there are negative impacts that can come from being so self-isolated. I'm Alex McKenna, reporting for Griffith University News.
Thank you for watching the Source News. I'm Elizabeth Foster, signing off.